What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show is, are you trying to find joy? How much time are you actually joyful and happy in everyday life? Or are you one of those people who are under a lot of stress and having lots of problems and have no time for joy? Well, I was one of them. What if there is a way out? And the way to have joy and ease and fun? What if there are tools like that? So let us play with those tools that possibly can create more joy, more ease, and more fun. I'm a medical doctor who became Access Consciousness Facilitator and Akashic Record teacher a while back. I'm also 3-day body facilitator. I also have a lot of other titles, degrees. I'm also an artist, had associate in fine arts, done a lot of work, different modality, Reiki Master, and now I'm facilitating classes around the world, doing private sessions, doing symphony sessions, doing classes online, in person, and allowing people to choose something different. So what if everything is just a choice? Let's play with that. A lot of people are strong believers in karma, that karma is a bitch. So whatever you did in the past lives, it will hunt you down. In some ways, it's true if you believe it. It's also true if you don't do anything about it and continue on the same path. Because what karma is, it's pretty much unfinished business. Whatever we did in the past, we try to finish this lifetime. But what if it's the biggest lie of all? What if, and also people look for purpose in life and connect that to Dharma, to karma, Dharma, all of that, creating their meaning in life. What if the only meaning, the only purpose of life is to have joy and fun? I've been playing with Akashic Records, with tools of access consciousness for a while now. I've been doing Akashic Records for almost 25 years. In April, it will be exactly 25 years. So 24 in 9 months. Access consciousness, 9.5 years. And all of those, and even Reiki, even other modalities that I've tried, awakening, they all talk about happiness, not suffering, about joy, not pain. And yet, we all struggling. We all create problems and stress and trying to do our best to actually create more problems. What is joy? What is happiness? It's so individual that people a lot of times even have no clue what it is for them. When I wouldn't say started on my journey, because I started on my journey way, way back, probably multiple lifetimes ago, maybe all the lifetimes ago. But this lifetime, I remember first time I connected to true joy, true happiness. And it was when I was a child, 6 years old. I had open heart surgery for a birth defect. And after the surgery, I had out-of-body experience. Maybe it was NDE, like they talk about near-death experience, where I was kind of out of my body, but yet I was in my body as well. And with all of that, I had an experience of intense joy, intense happiness, with no reason for that. I was just one with the universe. There was space of total allowance, total being, total happiness, and total joy. It lasted some time when I was in that space. I'm not sure how long it lasted. I still remember that. So I was searching for that. And yet I was creating a lot of shit in my life. Unfulfilled marriages, different relationships, job that I loved, but was very stressful because I had my office, I had my family, I had, I'm talking about medical office, was working by myself, extremely busy. And there were moments of happiness. And yet there was a lot of judgments that didn't allow me completely, fully immerse in that oneness, in that space of being that I experienced as a 6 years old. And as a child, I don't remember because I was very aware. I was aware of every person's thought, feelings, and emotions. And thank you. So with all of that, I don't remember much joy when I was growing up because I was picking up other people's emotions. And then I remember the same feeling when I gave birth to my child. Not the pain of it, because that I forgot, but that moment when they brought that child and laid on my chest because I couldn't hold it because I had C-section. And looking in her eyes, that was the oneness I experienced when I was 6 years old. The connection we have as an infants when we have amazing meditation, it all brings us into that space of oneness. And that space of oneness is the true joy, true happiness, and it can be created by so many things. What if we don't try to find it? What if we can be that space by choosing that? Right now, I'm inviting you to a meditation. So you can please just put everything down if you can. If you are not driving, close your eyes and just allow yourself to settle in your body. And yet, allow yourself to expand a little bit beyond your skin, beyond the boundaries of your body, or at least what you decided are boundaries. And try to find the edges of you. Just for a second, try to connect with the room you're in, maybe a mile or kilometer out, maybe 10 kilometers, 10 miles. Go in all directions like a sphere of light. And allow it just to be present with everything that is beyond what you understand with your mind. Just go with the sensation, the allowance of you as an energy See how far you can perceive the world. More. 1,000 miles, 100,000 miles. Make yourself bigger than our planet. And expand, include the moon. Make yourself bigger than moon orbit. And from that space, just allow yourself to be and look at our planet. Ask our planet, what can we contribute to you? And on 3, let's send the energy that Earth is required right now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now, from that space of gifting, ask Earth what Earth is willing to gift us. What contribution can she be to us? And what are we willing to receive? And a lot of times we are willing to receive much less than Earth is willing to gift. So if you perceive the difference, expand more and allow yourself to be more, even more, more. And now allow yourself to receive what Earth is gifting right now. How does it feel? Does it feel more joyful? I feel happier and more ease. Let's expand to the size of the universe, known and unknown. And from that space, let's ask, what can I gift the universe? What contribution can I be to the universe? And what am I willing to receive? And what is the universe willing to give me? And just allow yourself to gift and receive simultaneously. And if you think how, it means you contracted. Just expand and just be. Just allow that energy to move through you, around you, and just be present with that. And from that space, look at your life. Look at the problems you're having right now. Look at the suffering of you, other people. What do they mean to you at this space? How much of those suffering are not yours? How much suffering you actually perceive and it's a lie, an invention? And just allow it to melt with the energies that you are being right now and all the contribution that the universe and earth been to you and gifted you. Just allow it to be. And you can stay in that space for a while because we are going on a break right now. When we return, we'll talk more about other tools, how to stay and be the joy and happiness. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you trying to find joy? In the first part of the show, if you're joining us now, I talked and did an expansion exercise. Because when we're expanded, this is a space of oneness, of joy. And we can be that when we are meditating in a dream, when it's a wonderful dream, or when we connect to the divine through different techniques, modalities, call it whatever you want. And we touched on something that we perceive a lot of things in the world, and we don't have to take it on. When I was growing up, I was, as I said in the first part, I was picking up other people's feelings and emotions. I didn't have the tools to let it go. One of the tools is expansion. Like being expanded melts anything. Melts anything that's not you, melts any points of view you have that's lies. And truly, lies are like that air balloon that if you pump too much air, it will blow. It will disappear. Meaning that if you bring so much light, the darkness will disappear. And that's what lies are. They are darkness, the spots of darkness in your life. Einstein said there is no true darkness, only absence of light. Same with us. Any suffering, any pain, anything that is not true, the invention, if we shine the light there, will disappear. What do I mean by that? When we expand, like we did the expansion exercise, and for you guys who don't know me, you can actually download similar exercise on my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, for free, and that will put you on my email list that I send newsletters once a month, notice of some free stuff I'm doing, classes I'm doing. So you can join the groups or podcast. There is a lot of information there. If you don't like it after downloading the exercise or meditation, you can call it whatever you want. you can unsubscribe. So that's very simple. It's just my gift to you. And if you'd like to ask any questions, you can join the chat room, which is inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room, where you can ask questions. And if you'd like to be facilitated live on the podcast, you're welcome to ask for it. With all of that, the lies are pretty much what they are. The suffering, a lot of it is just that invention. Even pain in the body is intensity that body is trying to convey to us. People say, oh, I cannot experience joy because I'm in so much pain. But pain is actually a pleasure we are unwilling to receive, according to Gary Douglas. I'll say it again. When we are not willing to receive pleasure, the intensity of life and living, we shut it down, we resist it. And that's what creates pain. Pain by itself does not exist. It's just the nerve fibers, nerve cells firing. They fire no matter what. And the intensity with which they fire, meaning how much of chemicals they pump into that space between the neurons, creates that sensation of pain. Being a doctor, I kind of know a few things about physiology, and it's very simple. A lot of times that pain is not even ours, it's somebody else's pain. We pick it up, we sense it, put it in our body, then we resist the awareness that we're receiving. Think about it like we resist. It pushes against us. It pushes against the barrier. We resist. And it keeps giving us information, and we are not willing to receive. And that keeps blowing out of proportion into pain. Initially, there might not be anything in there. You go to the doctor, they cannot find anything. But our mind works very interestingly. If there is pain, there might be something wrong. So it gives an order to the body. Let's find out what's wrong. There is nothing wrong. But then the body says, oh, you would like something wrong. And it starts creating that wrong. Starts creating the illness that matches that pain receptor firing. Even it wasn't even ours to begin with, but we locked it in the body. So the body now recreating whatever the other person had to match it, maybe to show you, oh, this is what the other person have. But we create in our body now, what do we do with it? How can we go from the pain to joy? By asking the body, what can we do with this? Can we change it? A lot of those questions, there is magical 4 questions I love in Access, and it's in Foundation. I believe it might be in Bars right now. Oh, and by the way, Bars is the 32 points on the head. If you never experienced that, please find the practitioner or a class and go there. I'm not promoting my classes, but especially if you're not in the area, I would not recommend taking it online. I would recommend taking locally. If worse come to worse, if you cannot find it locally, maybe find somebody, a partner up with, and get it online. But that might not count to your certification. But it still will create a difference because it unlocks a lot of things and creates a lot of joy, or at least created a lot of joy in my life. Before I took my first Bars class, I was miserable. I had open heart surgery. After that, couldn't work. Went into major depression. Had fibromyalgia. Was in a lot of pain. I mean, I'm talking from personal experience with pain. And all of it has shifted and changed with access consciousness. But don't believe me. Experience yourself. And let's start with 4 questions. What is that? And you look for the energy and you pretty much allow yourself to create something different. So what is that? Look at any pain in your body. Look at any problem that's not allowing you to have joy and ease and happiness. And just ask, what is it? Because it might not be what you think it is. If it has words, fine. If it doesn't have words, that's fine too, because a lot of those things were created before you started talking. It's pre-verbal stage. So what is that? What do I do with this? And again, you listen, you feel, you sense, you be with that, and you let it go. You might have an awareness, it's not mine. You send it back to the source, whatever it was. Can I change it? Is the next question. Because some things is not ours, we cannot change it, it's their problem. And you get a yes or a no. If it's a no, you can ask other questions, but it means maybe it's not time right now to change it. And you keep asking that question over and over again for a while. And then if you get a yes, how can I change it? But you're not looking for the answers. You're not looking for that one magic pill that will take care of it. Sometimes you will get an awareness or an answer of, oh, I need to go to this doctor, or I need to take this supplement, or I need to stop this supplement, or I need to, whatever it is. Don't judge it. Just allow it to kind of like be there. Maybe something else will pop up, or maybe nothing pops up in that moment, but a week later, you'll come across something and you're like, oh, that's what I was asking for. That's how I can change this. Maybe somebody will call you with information that you're missing right now. That will change all of this. So what is it? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if yes, how can I change it? Those 4 questions, even by asking that, can change a lot of situation and bring more joy. Just saying, don't trust me. Don't believe me. Play with it. And it's time for our second break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more about the tools, about what is that we're missing, that creating that lack of joy. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you trying to find joy? And before we went on a break, couple of breaks, we kind of talked about a couple of tools. One is expansion exercise that you can find on my website, creatingabundancewithease.com. You can also find a lot of other tools on my Access website, which is accessconsciousness.com/Helen Gitlevich, or on contact me on email. You can contact me on Facebook, Instagram. Linktree has a lot of the links to the classes, to the everything that I'm doing right now. Instagram has a lot of information. You can text me there. You can text on WhatsApp, Telegram. I even have a Telegram chat specifically for Russian-speaking people, because I do shows in Russian. I do classes in Russian. And there are a few classes coming up. Actually, my gift for the new year, a free group symphony taster that's happening on December 30th at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and 1900 in Ukraine, 2000 in Moscow. 3-day body classes, that's going to be next year in Buffalo Grove, Chicago area, in Taiwan in February, and in Ukraine, February, March, will be multiple classes. Again, you can find more on my website, www.creatingabundancewithease.com. And now back to the show. As I said, we talked about expansion. We talked about 4 questions. With all the problems, what is that? What do I do with it? Can I change it? If yes, how can I change it? And we can play with that, with our bodies, health, with any pain, any dis-ease, or with relationships. We can play with that with our money, our finances. It's generic questions that work with everything. And the tool, who does it belong to, which we touched a little bit in the first part of the show, also very helpful, because a lot of those things, a lot of pain, a lot of ache, a lot of troubles might not be ours. It might be just given to us by somebody else. So we started talking a little bit about karma, about our purpose in life, and that our purpose in life is joy, is just to play. What if it just this earth is just a playground, just like children play, they pretend to be something or somebody. They have fun and then they kind of like, okay, I'm bored. What's next? And they play with a different toy. What if we can do the same thing? What if as an adult we can do the same thing? We kind of look at stuff and okay, it hurts. Interesting choice. I played with that pain for a while. I'm bored. Let's give up pain and let's have fun now. What if we can choose like that? How much easier our life would be if we didn't stuck ourselves in pain. And by pain, I mean not just physical pain and not just even emotional pain. I'm talking about anything, even irritation, even fears, even anger. All of them are in reality the nerve cells firing, either in the brain or in the body. It's all energy. Just think about our body. We talked about our being, our kind of like consciousness. We expand it to the size of pretty much infinite. We expand it to the size of the universe and beyond, known and unknown, as I said, and you are still there. What if your body is not solid either? Oh, wait, it's not. We already know, science told us that. If you lived 200 years ago, you might not believe me. You might say, no, body, it's whatever I see. It's solid, I can touch. Nowadays, we have biologists looking, well, I did that. I looked under the microscope. I looked at the cells. The magnification I used, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't solid anymore, even under the magnification that I saw, because the cells themselves were filled with liquid, and which was pretty much like the nutrients, where solid particles were floating like chromosomes, like the nucleus, like mitochondria. But then if you increase the magnification, electron microscopy shows us the atoms and space. But then we know that even atoms are not solid. They are nucleus with electron orbiting the nucleus, just like our Earth with moon, or the sun with the planets orbiting it. And then that's not solid either, because electron itself can be energy or particle. And then the nucleus consists of smaller and smaller particles, which eventually are nothing more than energy vibrating at different vibrations, different energy levels. And depending on how solid it is, it's vibrating maybe slower, like crystalline structure, if you remember from physics, and the atoms vibrating at different levels, like ice vibrating at a slower rate than water, and even water slower rate than our like air and the water vapor. So it's all space. Just like with darkness, shine the light and it disappears. Same with body. If we kind of like move the energy, we probably can move through the wall. But we have a point of view that stops us. And that point of view creates a reality of no joy. Because joy is not allowed in this reality. especially nowadays with everything that's going on in the world, like the government tried to isolate us, solidify our fears. But again, what is fear? It's false evidence appears real. Just like we said, darkness, bring on the light. Same as fear, it's another programming that been inflicted on us, that we allowed us to be inflicted with. We took it in. Nothing in our lives, in our bodies, in our being is that we didn't allow. Everything in our body, in our being, in our lives is something we created by some point of view. Doesn't mean that it was created consciously. It doesn't mean that it was created with our cognitive awareness. But we've created it somehow, maybe through our fears, through doubt, through something that we resisted and reacted to. And yet it's in our lives. It's something we chose by our point of view. Think about the light in the windows. If you are in a cathedral, I was in Brazil, and we ended up going in a cathedral where all the windows were blue. So the whole cathedral was blue color. If you turn off, like if you shut down the light from the windows, you would know what color walls there were, but you couldn't know because it was blue from the light through the windows. It was interesting. When I bought my house, when I was married, we bought a beautiful house. And I remember walking into the room that was all green. And I mean, the walls green, the drapery is green, even ceiling was green. Green fireplace, everything was green. And I'm like, oh my God, it's too much green. I will repaint it. I will do everything. It was interesting. It was green furniture. When we moved in, we put a brown furniture in there. And I opened the shades, and suddenly the walls became white. They were not green. They were just reflecting the light of everything in the room. As soon as I brought a different color in, the room became gorgeous. There was carpet that was green, which was beautiful. But now it didn't reflect as much on the walls. And even draperies didn't look as green. That became my favorite room. And that was the only room that I didn't change. So how much are we looking at our lives through other people's perspectives, points of view, through our judgment, through their judgment, and see what's not there? Like that green on the walls, that wasn't there. The walls were white, just probably like in that cathedral, they're not blue, they're white. And yet we judge them as whatever we perceive them to be, which is actually not there. So how much in your life you're shutting down the joy based on the judgment that you cannot experience joy because you have something else in your life. And with that, I'm going to leave you for the last third break of the show. And when we return, we'll talk more about how can we experience joy when you have some trauma and drama going on in our lives. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, are you trying to find joy? In the first three parts, we were talking a lot about different tools, the 4 questions. What is that? What do I do with it? Can I change it? And if yes, how can I change it? Expanding ourselves, bringing more light in our lives. And right before the last break, I was talking about that in the face of trauma and drama, we're not allowing ourselves to have joy, and that's a choice. What if no matter what's going on in our lives, we still can have happiness? As I said, I did a lot of things when I was growing up, and by growing up, I mean all the years up till today. I was doing Phoenix Rising yoga, and part of the exercise we played with Osho tarot cards. And I remember pulling a card. I don't remember which card it was, but it was 3 women dancing in the rain. With that, the message was clear. No matter what's going on, no matter what kind of storm is going on in my life, I still can have joy. I still can be happy. What did I do? I created a lot of storms in my life instead of creating happiness. When I realized that, it was interesting, kind of discovery that it was a learning process. Nowadays, I'm kind of like allowing myself to be happy no matter what, without creating the storms, to prove to myself that I can be joyful no matter what. It's interesting because the universe gives us what we ask for. So I was asking to be happy in the face of storms. Well, the universe was giving me the storms to be happy with. How often do we do that? How often do we say things and create that without even thinking that it will create the opposite of what we are asking? Instead of asking for simply, what would it take for me to have joy and ease and happiness? I was asking to have joy in the face of storm. Well, here is a storm, be happy. And that's how universe works. That's how law of attraction works. Basically, we ask for it and universe gives us. But when we are unconscious or non-cognizant of what is actually required, we create shit. Like I created storms. By storms, I'm meaning a lot of shit in my life, with relationship, with financial, and with my own health, etc. And yet, we don't have to do that. We can just ask for joy. We can ask for happiness and choose it. It's not like I am going to have joy. I decided I am going to be happy. That doesn't work either. That's not a choice, that's a decision. And a lot of times the decision is the one that stops the flow. It's about, what would it take for me to be happy? What would it take for me to have fun? What is fun for me? Because a lot of times we're not even realizing if we have certain inclination for solving the problems. Fun is solving the problems, and then we have to create problems to solve. What if we stop that? What if we choose to create something beyond it? And just to find what is fun for us. Our show is coming to the end, but it's not the last show. Luckily, it's coming back next week. Next week will be Happy New Year, Happy New You. You know how we do resolutions, and next year I'll be exercising. Next year I'll lose weight. Next year I will be happy. We'll talk about all of this. We'll talk about choosing now instead of next year. Choosing to start this moment, not on Monday. Choose to be all of us instead of just part of us. And being happy no matter what, but not creating no matter what. Creating what works for us. What if that's simple as choosing more? Choosing to create our lives from joy, from fun, from gratitude. Oh, that. How many of us decided that we have to be grateful? And then that decision kind of like, but what if it's a choice to be grateful? What if the space of gratitude, space of allowance is just that oneness that we talked about in the first part of the show? What if when we are in that expanded state, we can be all of us and be grateful for us? What if it's not looking for love, but be grateful? Because love has so many definitions. It's almost like a programming to look for love. But what if we be grateful? What if we just be thankful for everything in our lives, good, bad, and ugly? Because when we are grateful, there is no space for judgment. The antidote for judgment is gratitude. The antidote for problems is gratitude and allowance and joy. How much are we refusing all of that by trying to solve all the problems of the world by ourselves? What if we just ask, is it relevant to me? Do I have to solve the world hunger right now? Do I have to create world peace? Or I can have joy and ease in my life. And by that, I can create a little bit more of joy and happiness in the world. What if each one of us choose just a little bit of joy? That light, that maybe a candle of joy can create much more. Thank you so much for being here with me live, and for all of you who are listening later in the future. I'm so grateful for each one and every one of you. And I will see you next week, same time, same place. It's every Wednesday, 11 o'clock. And Happy New Year. Bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.